So I was talking to my friend a few days ago, and we were talking about, okay, it's like, should you do what you like or should you do what you don't like? And he came up with the point of you should do what you like because that's what Alex Ramosi says. And this is like a guy I really do like, Alex Ramosi, and him, of course. He's a guy I talked to my friend, but I thought about that. I'm like, why would you? Have you heard his story? Like that was like my first instinct in my mind. Have you heard his story? He ended up leaving his job, doing something he did not want to do, working 18 hours a day, sleeping on the floor in a gym for 2 years before he spent time doing what he wanted to do, which was start another business which was not driven by fear. So, this was two lessons, right? For me personally as well. I don't think I told him this yet. He might watch this video. It was first, context, right? Think of where advice comes from, where it's coming from, and why. And secondly, you should not take advice from people ahead of you, or at least many steps ahead of you. So here's the thing, right? The most common advice is only do what you want, follow your passion. And let's be real, that is the right advice. But right now, let's say you started a business or you just started working out. If you followed your passion, you would not work out. Right? Like, let's take your life as a whole, like, timeline, for example. I told you do what you want. No one's gonna go, who's gonna go get out, do some deadlifts? No one's gonna do that. No one on earth's gonna do that, except I might. Now, why is it that I want to do that, right? Why is it some of my friends want to do that? Because in the start, they got to bodybuilding, doing it because they didn't want to. And then over time, they started liking it. So, that is our passion now. What is your passion in the end might not be something that you like. So you kind of had to force yourself to like it. That's what happened with me. We're working out, right? Now I like working out. If you told me 2 years ago to work out 5-6 times a week, I would not do it at all. Like, why would I? It just sounds like a waste of time. So it's good advice. It's probably the best advice you can get, especially as you get older, but it's at the wrong time. And this reminds me of a quote by Naval Ravikant. He said, "All advice cancels to zero." I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Like, everybody should eat healthy, right? Everybody should work out, right? Like, it's kind of common sense. Everybody thinks, okay, they should work out, they should eat healthy, they should dress well. But there's opposites to that. So let's say I say, okay, I want to start working out. Oh no, you shouldn't lift. You shouldn't lift heavy. It's very bad for your joints. Very valid point. That's a very valid point. It is bad for your joints. Long term, it is super bad for your joints. Right? A lot of people get injuries in that sport. That is true. Okay, how about eat healthy, right? Someone tells you eat healthy. Okay, that's pretty good advice, right? Oh, no, but this diet's better. Oh, try the ketogenic diet. Oh, low carb diet. How about high protein, low fat, 50, 20, 70% split, whatever. Everybody always has their own diet. So that's also advice that's thrown out of the door. And how about dressing well? It's like, okay, dressing well, pretty good advice. Oh, no, you don't need to care about what other people think. Wear what you want. All advice counts to zero. It truly does. And if it does, that means that there is no correct path in life. I've kind of learned this recently as well. There's no one way to do things. Same with business, right? People, especially self-improvement, everybody thinks, oh, I got to start my business, man. I really got to start my business. Have you even gotten a job yet? Have you tried doing a 9 to 5? A lot of these kids are like 16, 17, 18. Oh, man, I don't want to waste my life 9 to 5. Look, it's a good aspiration, right? But have you tried it genuinely yourself? Right? Because I know people personally that actually like working a job. I'll give you an example. My mom herself. She loves working a job. She just gets to work, gets it done by like Sunday whenever her manager tells her to. So, okay, she likes that. She doesn't want to live the life of an entrepreneur who's, he has to take care of all these employees and get all that. No, she just wants to live with her kids. Is she living the wrong way? Not really. Right? She's earning pretty well. Right? She's pretty happy with her life. If that's how she wants to live, maybe it's the way that she wants to live. And, I had someone tell me, they're like, I would never want to live your life. I'm like, actually, I'll tell you who it was. It was my mom, actually. She's like, I would never want to live your life. Because you know what I'm doing? I'm here, it just brought up in conversation. I'm here sitting in my room most of the day. I'm either doing this, like recording, or writing something out for YouTube, or planning out like the next business thing the next week, or I'm reading, or I'm literally in my room like most of the day. I would never want to live like that. I'm like, okay, I would never want to live like you. And she took that personally, like, no, I'm being real. Like, I don't want to live like you. So here's the thing, right? I think in the end, the best advice is not the one that is generalized, that people have put into a book recently just to sell the book itself to you, right? That's what most advice is from most people, right? They've written it in a book, they're trying to get sales, and this is why I try not to read books anymore from the last like 50 to 100 to 200 years. Because the books that have kind of been written 2,000 years ago, so I'm talking like Marcus Aurelius, Voltaire, some of the big philosophers out there, Seneca, there's another guy, Cato the Greater, that's like the inventor of Stoicism. I'm starting to read these guys more, like just for pleasure, just for fun, because I realize these guys have been passed down through generations. Right? This is not modern advice. From modern problems, right? If you need to learn to drive a car, yeah, you wouldn't learn that from Seneca. He's not going to teach you how to drive. Right? Modern problems require modern solutions. But and this is specific, when it relates to wealth or career, relationships, or health, the best advice is the one that comes 2,000-3,000 years ago. Right? So think, when someone talks about wealth, the most common advice is money doesn't make you happy. That is repeated from 2,000 years ago. Right? Marcus Aurelius himself, he is a king himself. He's literally a king. And he said it does not make him any happier. This is a man who's a king. He still struggles to get out of bed in the morning. He talks about that in his journals. Isn't that crazy? That's wealth, right? Relationships. A lot of people talk about relationships. Oh, you gotta act cold with her and you gotta send her a text after two. No, just treat her how you would. That's the advice that's been there for over 2,000-3,000 years. We just don't fake yourself to look like someone else, because you can't hold that off for a long time. But what you can do is just genuinely be the person you are. So this doesn't mean acting all straight, straightening your posture when you get closer. No, it's like keep your posture how it is. It's like talk with her how you would with your boys. Like I'll talk with you the way I talk with a girl. And that's probably not attractive, right? You might think, oh, that's not attractive. You're not flirting with her. You don't need to flirt with someone if your personality comes off as good enough, which I doubt it is. Right? I doubt it's bad. And so relationship advice, health, and wealth, the best advice from that is from people 2,000-3,000 years ago. Easily. The rest are modern problems which probably require modern solutions. And if you have to solve a modern problem, the best bet is from 50 to 100 years ago. Read those guys, nothing after. Because these new books that are coming out from all these new age people, right, hasn't been passed down through different generations. No one has really recommended it. But think, like 100 years ago, like that's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Amazing book. Right? It's been passed down through generation, and it's still, to this day, after the guy dying, recommended. Right? I have, right here. Where is it? I don't know where it is, but it was this one. These two. Right? 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and Autobiography of a Yogi. Passed down 50, 100 years. Right? These are books that are still recommended to this day by people. This one recommended by Steve Jobs. This one by a bunch of people, right? A lot of people like it. And so the best knowledge is the one that comes from these previous time periods. And here's my response to the guy I was talking to, which is, he was saying, okay, only follow the thing that you like to do. Only do the thing that you want to do. there's going to be a point you're going to have to do the dirty work. You're going to have to get in there. You're going to have to sit down, do the stupid stuff, the editing for the videos, do the, all that. None of us like it. No, I hate editing. Absolutely dislike it. But I have to. I know that's a task I have to do. And if I get the chance, if I have enough income, I will outsource it. Right? So that's advice also that's been passed down thousands of years. Which is you have to get down and have discipline. And do it. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. And I hope you realize that most advice cancels to zero. So the best thing you can do is the thing that's for yourself. If it relates to health, wealth, relationships, 3,000 years ago is your best bet. All right, bye.